reveal the truth.
I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Well, the government told me what the date was, so I can't ever forget. So we're going to call it June 11th. It's a Thursday. It's trash day here at the Price House, 2026. Thank you guys so much for being here. Good to see you guys. I thought we were having the whole thing where we were going to do the whole, like, gases are going to go to $5 million a gallon, and then there was the whole thing. Oh, we're not doing. Stock market's up 1,100 today. Gas prices and oil prices are dropping exponentially. I don't know, guys. Something's happening around the world about this whole Strait of Hormuz thing, and I don't think it's what you guys all thought it was. But that's just my thing on it. But I have no idea. And by the way, I play a doctor on television. I'm not one in real life, so don't take my opinion as fact. Isn't that what the internet tells us to do? We always have to say there's a disclaimer because we're not actually smart as we think we are. But anyway, the government knows what they're doing, so why would we ever hesitate to question anything they're doing out there? I do have a problem real quick, and I'm not trying to step on anybody's toenails here. I'm really trying to stomp on them more than anything. There's a lot of people that are upset about a verdict that went out yesterday in Texas, and my problem with that is that the person that everybody's so upset about is going to be out within 13 to 15 years. I don't think the person who was executed or killed will be coming out of the grave in 13 to 15 years either. My problem with it is the people who are out there saying that this was unfair or unjust, the sad part of it is I would probably not want my family member, my child, to go through much more than what they would have to, like any parent would. But the sad part of it is when you can't take responsibility for what you physically did or allow your child to take responsibility for it, you are part of the problem. Now, that is why we are here in this situation. When you give, you create a bit of entitlement, and then you create a spoiled brat. And the sad part of it is, as Americans, the great part of America is there's a lot of people out there trying to do new and cool things and are being dangerously and trying to make something new and do all these things. But then there are a lot of people who find it that, hey, by the way, I like the free stuff. And when you become spoiled and you become selfish and self-centered, you find yourself in that sin nature, and you find yourself not doing more for the society but taking away from society. And when you feel that you're not being treated right because, well, you think you're entitled to everything that everybody else has, well, you look ridiculous. And the sad part of it is I think there was a very fair jury. I think there was a very fair sentencing. And the sad part of it is I know that there are people out there spending millions of dollars on this kid's appeal process that he's going to go through. The sad part is that his own defense actually sunk his own boat. Their witnesses actually made the case worse for them. So the verdict came down. I think it was just. I do believe the sentencing wasn't, but that's not my decision. I think there should have been something more there. But anyway, I do have a special guest with me today. He's coming in here, and his name is Matt HINES. I'm going to get him tuned up here a little bit. Hey, Matt, I got to see you there, buddy.
What's happening, Jim? Can you hear me?
I got you, Matt. There you are, buddy. Let me get me sitting right next to you, see how we're doing here. Good to see you, partner. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
Doing good. Now, I apologize. I think I've had to reschedule you a couple of times, haven't I? I think you're.
I'm not familiar with that, but if you have, it's okay.
Well, that's all right. Maybe they kept it from you. Okay, so my problem is I wanted to apologize if it was you. When I between your Zoom, the new Zoom update, my phone and my computer they're not syncing up. So I'm looking at my schedule on my phone because I'm out wherever, I'm like, oh yeah, I got an opening there, and then I get here and it's not. And so when Zoom did their little update, the calendar inside of their own program doesn't sync up. So I was having a bit of an issue. So I was going to apologize for that. But anyway, so Matt, how are you, buddy?
Hey, everything good, man. It's an honor to be on your show. Absolutely. And no worries about the past. It's we can't get our stuff together over here either. So
it happens, right? Technology.
Where are you located? I apologize, Jim.
Oh, no worries. I'm out of Kansas, Wichita, Kansas.
Okay, nice. Yeah, okay, good deal.
Where are you out of there? You got
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. Oh.
We got the first World Cup game today, so we're all celebrating here in the big ATL.
Well, we got Kansas City's holding some up there. We've got people, several countries in Lawrence and some other places around Kansas where they're actually doing wherever they're training or whatever they're doing. I guess they have It's like if they were in Georgia, they could go outside to Athens and then have their team thing there at a college or something. But do you know that part of it? Anyway, so the World Cup teams have all these. They pick little towns that they want to practice and play and live in while they're doing their stuff. Anyway,
Right.
so cool stuff. But hey, how's Georgia? You guys hot and wet down there, or just wet and hot?
Today we're hot. Yesterday we were wet. It's been mainly wet. It's been crazy. It's we had about a week of rain. Before that, it was drought season, so
Right.
we don't really know what's coming.
Well, we did too. We did drought all spring, and then all of a sudden we
we did.
decided that we wanted just to rain habitually for, I don't know, a week or like we had that same week there, and then Monday the air was so thick, like it was just like there was this fog like everywhere in the middle of the day. It was like, ugh. Anyway, but we've had some good storms roll through. All right, Matt, tell me your website. How do I find you? And we'll chop it up.
All right, good deal. So the website is hineslaw.org. Now so I'm a lawyer by trade. Well, I have a podcast and stuff that we're slowly building. The podcast is called Hines on Air. And there we interview different people from all walks, whether it's politics, sports, health, whatever.
Yeah. Now, HINESlaw.org.
Yep, HINESLAW.org.
Perfect. I was putting it in the chat. I want to make sure you had it right.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So, wait, you're a lawyer.
I'm a lawyer, one of those guys. We even have a billboard or two.
We were doing so good, Matt. There was a thing going. You and I was feeling
We were
it.
bonding. It was getting good.
Oh, we were talking world soccer stuff, that whole thing. And then he's like, "I am a lawyer," and I'm like, "Whoa. What did you say you were?" Anyway, so all right. Well, I'll try not to hold it against you as often as possible. So what got you into? Are you lawyering still, or what are you doing now? What do we got?
Yeah, no, mainly. So the law firm is sort of the nucleus of all the other things we have going. So we have the little podcast we have. There's consulting groups. There's chiropractor office, social media company, marketing companies. But the law firm I've been doing that for about 21 years. That is sort of what fuels everything else.
Right.
That's my passion. We got a great team, great group of people, and for now it's going pretty good, man.
All right. Hey, let me ask you about my opener real quick. How are you about the little trial? I'm not naming names or whatever, but the little trial that happened where we had a conviction, but we only did 25 years.
Jim, I hate to admit this, man. I was about to chat GPT in before you asked this. I am not as familiar with what's happening there.
Okay. Well, that's where
I don't know if you can give me a nutshell.
In a nutshell,
like what's
Two teenage boys track meet last year. One kid entered another person's tent or canopy, stabbed the kid in the chest, killed him on sight. And now they're saying that it was a self-defense, that the kid attacked him, and that there's no video evidence that. The eyewitnesses never said that. The police report didn't say that. He got 25 years for manslaughter. He didn't actually get, like, murder one. And they're saying that's an unfair conviction. I'm like, well, that kid's dead. And that 25-year, which in Texas, even if he's serving it as if he's doing it as a Schedule 1, which means he would do all years, but they didn't schedule it that way. So that means he'll do half time for good time. So within 14 to 15 years, that kid could be out for killing somebody in high school. But they're complaining about it as if it's too strict or too hard.
That's the complaint. I thought when you said that they wanted life, but they only got 25.
They only got 25, but the problem is that the kid should have got life. I don't know why he didn't. I mean, you physically stabbed a human being in the chest. I mean, it wasn't an accident. It was a car accident. This is something purposeful. I just don't understand how you can get off the. I'm sorry, I got my personal opinion involved in that, but it's like 25 years. Okay, cool. I mean,
Jim, they went to trial and he was found guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Does the jury in Texas decide, or is the judge impose sentence?
No, the jury does the whole thing. The judge doesn't do any of the sentencing. The judge doesn't do. All he says is the jury says this. This is what the sentence is, and it moves on.
Oh, interesting. So here in Georgia, the jury decides guilt or innocent, and then the judge says, bam.
The sentencing. No, in Texas, it's all the way with a jury. So here's the problem. It wasn't even a judge thing. It wasn't a singular person thing. It was a group of 12, and they had to come to an agreement. And in today's society, I think that would almost be a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, I just think it's unfortunate that we have those people that can't take that self-responsibility. But that's me. I'm a different human being on that part of it. Real quick, you're on here for a reason. We got to get back to that, right? We're talking about some other things. What is your? Let's get back to your mission here.
Well, I mean, there's the law firm.
Yeah.
Like I think I read about your show. It's mainly about politics, and would you say mainly politics or not really?
Well, it started out as politics, but it's got
Yeah.
into the medical and the spiritual and the financial and kind of letting people know the bear traps are coming up in society. It's turned into just a real good information show because we don't let them get by with anything. We try to call them out on their BS. That makes
Oh,
sense.
that's cool.
Well,
Are
it's
you
not
a
like
fan
that.
of the?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you like? Are you not to get too political? I don't know if this is jumping in too much already,
Oh,
but
no, I'm
are you a
good.
fan of Trump? Do you like what's
Yeah,
happening?
yeah, absolutely. Now, here's the thing. No. Let's do this.
Okay.
People misuse the word, are you a fan of Trump?
Okay.
I am a fan of a lot of the things that are getting done in the government, and it may not be my style, it may not be perfect, but I like the fact that he's giving me the E for effort in the situation. So is he the perfect man? Is he the perfect way? Does he do it the way I want it? No. But at least he's trying to give people their freedoms and liberties back. And I don't understand how you can have a problem with that. I am really lost on the idea that this is an issue for us. I don't know. I lose it in the common sense column as soon as people tell me that they're against everything he does. I'm like, okay, cool, but what about what we're doing on this other stuff? Is this okay? Are we okay with this? Because I know what the EPA regulations have done to the diesel industry, and that's where you get all your food. You know, I know what the EPA's done to the fishing industry, and he just signed a thing that released a bunch of fishing land or fishing water back to America that other countries could fish, but we weren't allowed to because our EPA said it was bad for the environment. Our EPA said it's bad for the environment, but all the other countries on Earth could fish the same exact areas. And he released that today. So tell me how that's bad.
That's good. I don't know of things like that. I know
Yeah.
of the major issues. I will say, and I didn't start this topic to pick a fight.
No.
I didn't know where you stood. Okay, all right. But Trump to me has been one of the biggest disappointments that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I was so excited when he got elected.
Right.
I thought he was going to be that guy that stood in the front lines, fought for us, and did what was right.
Right.
I have not seen that, brother.
Yeah,
I hate to say it. It broke my heart. About
know.
6 months ago, I just had to come to terms with the fact that I did not get what I thought I was getting.
Right. Well, let me ask you a quick question. Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I do.
Do you pray to God? I'm not. This is not a bear trap. I swear to God. I'm not setting you up for a bear trap. This is not a big deal. So, do you believe when you pray to God, you ask Him for things and you expect to see a response, or you hope for a response?
Well, yes, I don't depend on I guess a supernatural entity to control the world or to solve my problems or anything like that.
Yeah.
Do I believe in there's more to life than just a body, and when you die, you're done? Yes, absolutely.
Well, how about this? How about free will? Let's say you told
I do believe in that.
So you told your son to go mow the lawn. You expected to see with no mohawks and all the edging done, right?
Yeah.
Well, his version of reality, your version of reality may be two different things. Just like the version of our reality in Trump didn't always come out to what. And that's where I have to give. I am a very, very, very by the book, OCD, get it right, do that kind of thing. And so I'm in your same boat, except for I do the part where, well, I know government enough where I've been involved, and that's why I'm even doing the show. And I will understand that there are millions of people in government trying to defeat him daily. And I don't always want to forget that, because if we don't give him a credit that he's fighting the government industry themselves, the government, that's the part where we forget that we lost control of this 60, 70 years ago. And he's just the guy who came back in and said, hey, by the way, I could try to change this. And I'm going to let him try. Now, do I think it's going to stick? I don't know. According to the history and the way that countries fall, I don't know if America actually makes it past the 250 part. Because according to the cycles of countries and the way that we rise and fall, we're due for a big fall as a country, as a nation, unless we can somehow either turn around the financial situation or the spiritual situation.
You think what, a 300-year lifespan or so? Is that what you're?
Oh, it's less than 200.
You,
less than 200.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're really like, as cyclical cycles, we should not be a country anymore. And the fact that we've stuck it out like this is really more the miracle. But the last 50, 60 years, we've been completely overtaken. Since World War II, we have actually literally lost control of our entire country. We're no longer sovereign unto ourselves as a republic, and I know that. So if I'm batting for a constitution, huh?
When you say we're not sovereign, but what do you mean? Like, who's in control? What do you mean by that?
So the SWIFT system, the banking, and then you have the global cabal effect, where the banking that actually drives the different wars throughout the countries and throughout the world. That right there, once that hidden hand took control, the Federal Reserve absolutely took over everything. When we fell off the silver standard and went to the petroleum dollar in 1971 through 73, when we had the oil embargoes, which is not an oil embargo, it was actually reevaluating the U.S. cash to go into the currency we have now, which we've lost so much value in the last 50 to 60 years. We basically are at 1% of the value of a dollar compared to we were 55 years ago. So I'm
with you on the unseen hand influence and all that kind of stuff. I don't know that that's why Trump invaded Iran, for instance.
Oh,
I would love to break it down and dissect what the hell influences those guys like right now. I don't know.
So the weakness is why he exposed it. He didn't go into Iran he went into Iran for two reasons. One, to free the people from the Ayatollah who says that God told me that the government should do this. And so Iran's government did whatever the Shah or Sheikh or do, whoever that was. Every time he said, Allah told me to do this, well, the government had to jump. So now we don't have that guy, but also the Persians back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, you could go to Iran and vacation there. It was a place to go to. It was amazing and beautiful to be a part of Iran. Sure. But the thing is that when the Ayatollah took over, now we got rid of the Ayatollah, now the people take back over. But what did we show Europe and China? You have one of the weakest links for your energy supply in the entire globe. China was receiving 80% of their oil from the Strait of Hormuz. So how important was it really for China? Or was this really a kick into Iran, or was this a kick into China? When we actually stopped the oil coming out of Iran, did we not actually kick China in the goods, when in reality that's where they get all their energy sources from?
That's a great, I don't know.
Power, buddy. Think of the power move.
The idea of going in, knocking out the Ayatollah, and then the people rise up and they have a free country. That's a beautiful story. I do not believe that's why Trump did anything.
Okay.
I would love it if it ended like that. We all live peacefully, happily ever after.
It's coming.
All right.
It's coming.
We actually interviewed a girl from Iran. She fights in Washington for Iranian rights. And honestly, I thought, because she's against the Ayatollah, they do not like that suppressive government.
No. Yeah.
I assumed she would be like, yeah, America, come here and help us get rid of these people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they were more like, no, America, just stop. Just stay out. We can do this by ourselves. We are making progress. It was shocking to me, actually, because I thought they would just kind of want to link up with us and help us make change. But what do you think of? Here's what I wonder. We were talking about the unseen hand and that influence that really governs us and all.
Absolutely.
When you see somebody like Kash Patel,
right? He's lost. He's lost.
I was so excited when he started, and now he's just a lapdog and won't do any of the stuff that we thought he was going to fight for. Like, what changes a guy to that extent? That's what I wonder.
Well,
I don't know if they threaten him or what.
Two things: lack of leadership and fear. If you don't have true leadership skills, which is defined by, hey, by the way, you can be a task-driven person and be very good at doing this and getting people to do these things, but if you're not a true leader, where there is no guidelines, regulations, rules, or a project to deem what you're going to go for, are you a leader that actually motivates and moves people? Well, the problem with Kash, and I've actually met Kash Patel quite a few times. I've actually known him for 3 or 4 years now. Well, not actually now, 5. I've known him since 21. Anyway, he's a great, fun guy. Just kind of what you think he is, right? Guy, yeah. But I think what happened is that because of the lack of leadership that he had once he got there, and then when they really showed him, this is what we do. When you see that little deer in the headlights, the fear of hi, my name is Kash Patel. Everything's great. Just be nice, go, but we're like, what are you okay, bro? Is there a gun on your head?
Exactly.
So the lack of leadership, and then the true fear, realizing that he's in over his head, just like Bongino. Bongino was another hard blower. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to show you the aliens. I'm going to give you the, Well, the problem with that is you're talking about millions of federal workers who do a job every day, and you're saying you're going to take it away from them. Do you think that they're going to let you take away their federal jobs because you expose that their entire agency is a fraud? No. There are millions of people that make sure that their entire agency looks completely legitimate, including 9/11, Pearl Harbor, and we could just continue on going down the fact that we want to always show that we're valuable and necessary and needed, and this is why we have to have the big budgets and the black budgets and the ones you don't know of. And that's where Daddy Bush came along, because he was a CIA guy. He was put in behind Reagan to make sure that he was maintaining control under Reagan, because Reagan was too charismatic. Remind you of anybody? And just like Pence was moved in, the same way we had Daddy Bush moved in. So Daddy Bush was the what really truly hardwired the CIA into the government that we know now.
Yeah. Well, it's just disappointing because
Yeah.
when you hear Cash, like Tulsi Gabbard, I thought is a good human being. She's a good person.
Yes.
She was
Yeah.
there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there saying Iran does not have nuclear weapons or does not have enriched uranium, whatever she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then once Trump starts screaming at her, she goes back and changes her story. I wish that's where I wonder, is it like is it threats? Is it just the pressure they feel without it even being said? Or they sit you down and say, look, this is the message we're going to deliver from the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Do not disagree with this. Like,
Right.
just go with it.
Well, here's the thing.
I would think some would stand up to that, though. And it seems like no one will.
Well, actually, if you think about the Democrats, they're very good about the unified policy, right? They come out, they say red is 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 red, and another person comes along and they're saying that the red is red is the red is the red. But what we do as Republicans or conservatives or independents or libertarians, which seems like that whole group is over here, and then there's the other set now. What we do is we create discernment. Because too many times we're thinking of why did you say that? What do you mean by that? I agree with what you're saying, but why did you say it this way? Well, what about that? And so the discernment that we create, that allows us to go out and say, well, we don't think that this is an issue. If you're asking my question, I have no evidence that there's anything going on in Iran, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Well, the problem with that is that when you don't have the unified message and you're a person like who is Trump, who's being grilled by his own people, including you and I and everybody else, he says, listen, guys, let's just stick to the basics. We can disagree and do a lot of other things back here, but when we're forward facing the message, let's try to keep a continuity because that is where we all spend too much time over explaining, redirecting back to the original subject, and then we do all that. But that's a leadership thing. And I would, as a leadership of a corporation, would say the same thing. It's like, guys, listen, hey, let's go back in here. Let's work on this thing. But when we're out here, let's try to keep the message same so we're not confusing the public, but also not undermining our own authority. And that's really where a real public of opinion thing is going on, I think.
Well, if it's okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I would also like for the truth to come through to some degree, whether they.
Oh, no, all the truth. Not to some degree. I want disclosure the whole way.
But I mean, me too. I guess there's a reality there somewhere. Like, so let's say there was no threat from Iran.
Right.
But Trump says, look, we need a united front. Everybody needs to say Iran is about to have a weapon.
Right.
Tulsi says they don't have one.
Right. Well, not having one and about to have one are same, right? Anyway.
Sorry?
I said not having one and about to have one are the same. Because you don't have one. If you about to have one, you don't. I mean, I'm about to get in line, but I'm not in line. You know, like, I mean, I'm being semantic. I'm sorry. You're a lawyer. You should know.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Go ahead.
I believe Tulsi was telling the truth, and I believe Donald Trump had his message already written and what he wanted to portray to the public. Right. So, yeah, I don't know. I would.
If I wish, here's the thing: we don't know the thousands of conversations that go on behind all this.
No, we don't.
And we don't really have all the truth on the Gaza Strip. We don't have all the truth on Iran. We don't have all the truth on Ukraine. We don't have all the truth on China. Korea, North Korea. I mean, we don't have all the answers. And yet it's like, this is the part where you just said, the disclosure, right? I want my government telling me how they have offended me. I want them coming to me, listen, this is how bad we're doing it. This is when we've been doing it. Here's what we're doing it. Yes, you were right about this. These are the things here's even the worst of what we're doing. And then let me work on that and let me figure out how to process that and then give some trust back to my government over time. But my government doesn't think they need to earn our trust. And that is my fallacy of Trump to the dog catcher in El Paso, all the way down to the nobody, right? If you're taking my dollar in income, I don't care who you are, meter maid, whatever it is, you need to be figuring out how to keep me happy. You're my public servant. But we don't speak that way. And so we want our government to be forthcoming and all these things, but we don't demand it. We want Trump to be better, but do we really demand it? We want Biden to be better. We didn't demand it then. We wanted Uncle Barry to be better. We didn't demand it then. We wanted Bush to be better. We didn't demand it then. So we're really not demanding anything. I don't like what Trump does. Okay, now what? But that's not demanding. That's not putting the feet to the fire where it really matters and making sure that we're moving forward to keep them accountable. We're not
How do
showing
we
up.
do that, Jim? I agree with everything you're saying, but I don't know. It seems like because right now we got the Dave Smiths and the even Joe Rogan, like a lot of the they disagree out front, and
Yeah.
it seems like the tide is turning, but the government does not seem to respond. They continue on their same path. It's like what the hell are you going to do about it? I'll do what I want. Like
Well, you're exactly right. And the problem with that is because they know that they have trained us through the prison system of the Phoenician style of education all the way from 2/3 of your entire life. By the time you're 21, we have done nothing but 2/3 of your life, government indoctrination. We know that you are too docile. You're too timid. You live in too much fear. You're trying to figure out how to pay the electricity. You're trying to pay the rent. And by the way, since 2021, when we added the $9 trillion to the United States deficit in one single year, we lost $3 trillion in income to the middle class in America. So 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, and 2026, there is $3 trillion less of income available to the middle class in America. There lies why you will never rise up against your government, because we have weakened you and made you so soft and so apathetic, and you're so scared to use your gun against your government or stand up for your freedoms or your liberties that you fear them way more than you fear losing your freedom. And that right there is why they will never, ever have to be held truly accountable to you, because they don't fear you for a half a second. And
that's true.
You're not fearful. You're not something to be feared.
That's right. I mean, most people want to drink Starbucks, go to the ball game, relax, watch some TV. They don't really care enough to get out there and change it. So we're going to have more activism, more preaching everything to actually
more
create.
Masculinity, period, and more real femininity that makes the masculine so powerful that the feminine actually has everything provided for them without having to ask. But the feminine doesn't support the masculine doesn't become masculine and create the safety that the feminine then feels safe in. And so that cycle falls apart, and the government knows as long as we keep the males and females fighting with each other or telling them they're gender weirdos, whatever, they will never, ever rise up against us. If you're fighting over bathrooms, will you fight your government?
No.
Because, I mean, you're going to fight over freaking bathrooms. That's your cross. That's your line. That's your, I'm not going any further than here. But your government literally loses 1 trillion written check dollars every year to fraud. Not because someone stole it, not because someone masterminded, because we bothered to write the check and send out over $1 trillion. We know this. We send out $1 trillion in fraud every year, and we do not stop it. Please tell me, why are we not mad at our government? Why are we doing nothing? We're losing $1 trillion in paid out fraud from our own government every year, and we're not breaking the doors down. January 6th.
When they try to do it, going back to Trump, when he started, this was exciting to me when he started Doge. I'm like, hell yes, this is good.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped, and I'm like, damn it, man.
Why?
That was the
Why?
Why? Well, he was stopped.
It didn't stop. I think, listen to me for a second here. We may have to go way over on this show, by the way. I think that McAfee, the virus company, remember John? He said, I gave out secretaries, all these brand new, high sophisticated computers, all the secretaries. Everybody's seen that damn clip 1,000 times. We've all seen it. But what if it actually started back then? What if everything that we're hoping for, everything that we keep thinking about, what if Pat McAfee, Mr. Virus Protection himself, which means if he knows how to stop a virus, he knows how all computers operate, right? So he knows how to get in and out of them and knows everything about them, right? So then he gives them to the government and they just plug them in. But remember the executive order in Trump's first term, the election integrity, that is still active. That election integrity executive order is still a viable election integrity, and that's still coming.
What is that? No, I'm sorry. I'm not too familiar with that one.
So in the first 3 or 4 months, he had election integrity task force that would go out and use military assets and other types of things to go in and investigate, but also monitor elections globally. So we stole the Venezuela election. We stole the Ukraine election. We know this. If you go look at Stone's, now I'm not Stone's big fan. What's his name? He's controversial because he's a Democrat, but he did a thing on Burning Ukraine. There's a movie called Burning Ukraine. Go look at that movie.
Okay.
And Oliver Stone. Yeah. Go look at Burning Ukraine. And I don't like Oliver Stone, but I did watch that. I will tell you that if you watch it and kind of listen to the in-betweens where you're seeing where the government was doing things, and you look at today, you can see exactly why we're in Ukraine, why we're in this and this and this and this.
Interesting. I didn't know about that. I will check that out.
Yeah, Burning Ukraine. It's worth a watch. By the way, watch that and then either watch Wag the Dog first, the movie Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman and those guys. Watch that and then watch Burning Ukraine. You're going to be like, Anyway, so that's when you find out how much of this we've just been played into. Here's the other thing I can give you on this. The blue light, the white light that's over your head right now that's coming out of the screen that you have, it comes out of your phone, that white, the hyper white, the blue, that actually makes you so docile that is enough to keep you from fighting your government alone. The white light in your light ring or in your phone or in your overhead lights, that hyper blue LED, it causes you to dysregulate your dopamine so much that you won't actually get excited to do anything. It dumbs you down.
Wow.
Hyper white. And who brought that in? Who made it a law that there was no more incandescent bulbs, which mimic fire? Uncle Barry brought in only LEDs, which LEDs have the hyper white or hyper blue, which then dumbs you down and makes you docile.
Very interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's they're getting you on everything. Well, you know that, and the laser technology in Maui and all that other good stuff. So yeah, don't worry about that stuff. That's good stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Man, this has been awesome. I don't know if this is where we were supposed to go at all, but
I don't either. No, I know. I came in. I know you got a very successful show, so that's why I was excited. And I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I wasn't aware like exactly what there was a topic. I was talking to the team. I was like, are we talking about business or are we talking about politics?
Anyway.
We
can do whatever. I mean, we're good with it. And here, let me ask you, you want to do some legal stuff? Are you a legal scholar?
I don't know. I'll have a moment or two, but I don't know about the scholar.
This guy over here.
Yeah.
I
got ChatGPT beside me. We could.
Well, we talk a lot about judges, and we talk about how a lot of judges are failed attorneys. We talk about the unemployment of attorneys. We talk about the failed system that is really the predatory effect of lawyers, DAs, judges, the whole political wheel of all that keeps that system alive. Are you happy with where we're seeing and what lawyers do, what Supreme Courts do, where we have so much judgy going on?
Supreme Court? No, I'm not happy with that. There are some. The best judge.
It's always the judges. It gets back. I mean by the Supreme Court, it's always the judges that are. It's not. We can't vote on it. We can't let the public buy their way into. Hey, if we like Fords, just let us buy Fords. If we like electric cars, we'll buy electric cars. But with judges, it seems like we always go to that point. So, are you okay with the idea it's always a Supreme Court, it's always a judge, or that kind of stuff?
No, I would rather it be more the people that make their own decisions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're saying.
Yeah. That's it seems to me that it becomes the language, right? We find these language models, right? It's like, oh, well, it's Kleenex, right? Well, what is tissue paper or facial tissue? It's Kleenex, right? No, it's not clean. It's called facial tissue. But the idea is like, well, we'll get a judge's ruling on it. Oh, the judge ruled. Like, well, who the hell is this guy? Like, he's a guy. He's over in Minnesota. I don't know who this guy is, and he's now going to shut everything down. So I just wondered if is there anything, or is there will within the lawyer industry that wants to move away from that idea that judges are always the god?
I mean, that would be nice. I haven't seen a big push towards that. I mean, it's scary. Judges are put on a pedestal and sort of assume that they're wise and whatever, but they're just like you and I. They have bad moods. They get tired of making decisions and they stop caring. There was one situation. This was sad. They were like, I forgot where it was, but all day the judge hears requests for clemency or something where people are just getting out. So the judge hears like 100 requests in the day.
Right.
And if you're like the first 20, your odds are like, I don't know, 40, 50% that the judge will grant your request and you get out. By the time they get to number 30, 40 or so, they're denying everything, not because of the facts, just because they're sick of being there.
Right.
And that's sad that our sort of our system is ruled with that sort of an attitude and
Yeah.
behavior.
Well,
Yeah.
that sounds almost like a McDonald's drive-through effect. You know, you catch the guy in the beginning, and she's like, "Hey, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you?" About 4 hours in, he's like, "Yeah." What do you mean? Yeah, I just want to. I'm here making money for you. I'm giving you money to serve me. Like kind of the idea. Hey, Judge, we're giving you money to serve us. Yeah. I was like, whoa, no. We don't. That's not how we do that. But anyway, so hey, let me ask. You are a lawyer. You have a lawyer firm, so that means there's multiples of you. Mm-hmm. You have a podcast. Then you said you had other. Are you just entrepreneurial? Like, are you a habitual? Like, I can't stop adding on to the pool. I got to have the fountain. I got to have the waterfall. I mean, is that the entrepreneurial effect of keep adding businesses?
I'm not like some of these guys have like 50 or so. We have I don't know. I say we, my wife and I don't know, 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. It's not compulsive. If an idea makes sense, we'll kind of jump into it, and somehow one business can complement another, and they all work together. So we get into that, but
I understand.
No.
If it's there, it works out. But yeah, I just didn't know if you had like a little bit of a, or if it was more of a like, oh, hey, and you never know. Sometimes these stories are kind of interesting where someone's like, I didn't mean to be into laundry business, but now I am, and I got 12 of them. Who knew I would have? I'm like, what do you mean you got laundry mats? Like, I didn't even know you have a job. Like, what do you?
That's right. It's a never-ending problem. I remember Picasso used to say, a painting is never done. Right. Like there's never like a stopping point. It can always be more to it. Yeah. And I guess it's kind of like that in business too. There's always one more step. It seems interesting. You want to jump into, but just got to scratch that itch.
Absolutely. Now, for you, what kind of lawyering do you do? Do you do just?
We do the injuries. Oh. We're one of those guys, and then we do criminal defense.
Oh, okay. Okay.
One of those guys too.
Well, I said the first guy. I got a couple buddies here in town that are those guys, and they do pretty well. So, I don't know if here in Wichita, there's a Brad Postotnik, and I've put in a home theater for him and some different things, but he's the bull lawyers. He's the bull attorneys, and so he is a bull and a money gun, and it's a whole thing. So. But he's also like 70 some years old, and he still makes those commercials. So
wow!
He has a lot of fun with it. I think after in the beginning he was doing some stuff, and then he got into this. He did a commercial about 10 years ago with a bull. It was a whim thing or whatever, and then he bought the bull because he loved the bull so much, and then fed it and kept it till it died. Anyway, that's Brad.
He's an attorney and he does commercials with the bull.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He's
catchy, I guess. Yeah,
he's doing it now. There's a guy in Kansas City that's called the Jungle Law, and it's a guy whose hair long like mine. I used to have hair like yours before I went through the political thing. But anyway, he's called Jungle Law, and he's got a monkey, like a live monkey. And then he does this like animated Jungle Law here for you, and he's kind of like a Tarzan in effect, and then there's a little part where the monkey's lips are animated. And it's like call Jungle Law, and I'm like, oh my gosh, guys! So we still do that around. You guys have lawyers like that in Atlanta?
Absolutely.
Do you? Are you one of them? You gotta tell me, man.
No, we try to keep it professional and somewhat real, but no, it's crazy, man. You never know what people are going to want.
Right.
We were competing. Now our office works a lot in the Hispanic community.
Okay.
And most of our staff are bilingual, and anyway, that's I like that community. We try to help them, but so we'll get creative and all. But there was this other group, one of the most popular ones in that area, and they had a commercial where it's an accident, and they jump out of the car and start playing music. What's the mariachi music? It's a mariachi band runs out the car and starts playing at the accident scene. And you're like, how freaking stupid is this? Kills it. They love it. So you never really know what's gonna be a hit.
Well, hey, you don't know, right? Yeah, that's that's crazy. That is absolutely well. And again, humans, right? Human nature of things. Hey, let me ask you. Seeing how you're a lawyer, how do you feel about Fannie Willis and her ability to wear a dress backwards? Have you got any opinions about that? Is there any, or is that too close to your home where you may get hurt or something? I don't know. Maybe I should ask. Hey, sir, are you?
Dude, I'm not in her court, so it's fine, man.
Did you see where she wore that ring?
I don't know what you're talking about with the dress, though. No.
Oh,
I
you
hate it.
gotta go.
I'm missing
No,
out.
dude,
But she was like the talk of the town for so long when she was
No. 2 years ago, she came out because she had to testify in Willie's court case. She was I'm testifying. She came out because they said,
yeah,
no, she don't have to. Her
I
dress was
remember.
on backwards, and the zipper, like the one you use for your wife to zipper up in the back, it was in the front, and there was no epaulets for her,
Yeah.
and so her dress was on backwards.
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I have not noticed the backwards dress. I think I know
Go
what you're
look
talking
it up, bro.
about.
It is so bad. I'm like, oh my God, her dress is on. Holy crap. Like, what were you doing? Like, getting in the office? Like, maybe she had a dress on a hook behind. You know how I know you lawyers do that a lot. You guys got like 5 coats behind the door, different thing. Maybe she had like oh, this is my red dress. I'm going my power dress. And in the hurry, she didn't realize she zipped it up the front.
Maybe so.
Ask your wife if that's possible, that a girl forgot that she zips her. It's
That would seem
not a
difficult.
sweater.
Yeah. I don't see how you pull that off. Carmen, you think that's possible?
Is she in the office there? Ask her.
Yeah, we part of the team here is her name's Carmen. We're checking with them.
Yeah, is it possible to accidentally have the zipper part of your dress on the front that you?
We're getting a no.
But go look at the video. It's so bad.
Okay.
It's you just look up Fannie Willis red dress. I think you can do it that way, or it comes up. It's not good. It's not. I felt bad for her. I did make fun of her.
I don't know. At that point, she was. I don't know.
She was punching.
So much corruption going on. That's Fulton County. That's right in the middle of Atlanta.
Yeah,
and
she was punching under the water. She was so drowning. She didn't even know she was drowning.
I know. I did admire her. She kept fighting, but it was like, just stop. Withdraw.
The house is already burned down. Quit trying to.
Gone.
Like, let it go, dude.
Yeah.
That thing's still going on with them, by the way. There was still some stuff coming out on that case. They're still sanctioning her. That's not over for her. It's not. She really, like, why would you do that, dude? You know, there's a point in a case or in a situation where you kind of go, okay. You just gotta let go. You just gotta let go of the victory or trying to get it.
I agree.
And
I thought so too.
She just couldn't stop herself. It's like, wow.
She was stubborn. Yeah, it would have been so easy and it went away. And it wasn't that important. They had already kind of lost everything.
Yeah.
Wade was her boyfriend, and they just
Wade.
But I was like you. I was like, just bow out right now. You don't need this shit.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's not gonna fix the Trump case you screwed up on. It's not gonna get you any. Just stop. Just say, hey, I do realize there were things that I feels like it's way out of bounds, and here's what I'm going to do everything I can to make this right. Blah blah blah. And if I need to repay restitution, then let's figure that. I mean, do something, right? But not to do the. Has she looked up the red dress yet? Has she look it up? She didn't do. Your assistant there. She did look up the red dress for Fannie Willis.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
I thought you were putting it away over there.
No, she's got Uber coming. She's like, I gotta go. It's just 6 o'clock. I gotta get out of here. So, all right. Hey,
we got the red dress. Hold on, I can kind of see a zipper.
See how it lays real flat and like the zipper's hidden, but then you can see the little tab every now and again when she's flopping her arms around. Anyway.
Yeah.
When she went to the podium was when I saw it. When she was at the podium before she went to the stand. Anyway. Yeah, poor girl.
Poor girl. I know it.
And she's not, and then she did the whole, men call me Fanny because they think in my butt. And I'm like, you don't have a butt. That's why your dress fit backwards. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, so that was...
Yeah.
Fanny will, they call me Fanny. I was like, that was one of her protests that she went on stage. And she did that in front of a church, by the way. She said that men say my name Fanny, it's Fawny. My name is Fawny, not Fanny. And they say Fanny because it reminds me of their butt, my butt.
Was that when she was playing the race card?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I'm black. Okay, whatever.
That's like, this has nothing to do with race.
Yeah. My zip code is such and such. I don't care. What do you want? Like, who cares? Like, anyway, I think it's the reverse privilege that is really amazing in American society right now. There is people who absolutely intellectually, socially just do not have any social credit, but yet pull out the black Amex like it's a real card and saying, oh, I got social credit. I can fling this around. And I don't think that the privilege that these people keep pushing around we're not celebrating. They expect us to celebrate them because they say, but we should be celebrating intellect. We should celebrate heroism. We should be celebrating success, right? And in our society, when we decided that anybody can be president, then suddenly everybody got participation rewards and all that good stuff, and then we come sliding into where we are now.
I totally agree, man. They do not reward accomplishments these days.
Oh.
They were talking. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on YouTube pop up about cancer treatment, and all these guys have different theories on this, and it's exciting. It looks good, but I was thinking, like, what would be great is if the NIH or whoever awards the money says, okay, who cured the most cancer patients this year?
Yeah.
You? Good. You get this much. And how much did you cure? Okay, good. You didn't cure any?
No.
Okay, your funding is shut off. And just award how well they did, not just how many PhDs they have working in the hospital.
So every year we find the top 10, and then those top 10 have to go into Dallas Stadium, and that's where all their patients go, and that's where they go and they work together. The top 10 of all the different modalities of curing cancer come together, and then next year we're going to find the top 10 again, and maybe some will stay and some will leave. Mm-hmm. And then every day we're trying to find the peak, most, bestest, everest, and we concentrate them in one little area and say, let's do better. Like you guys talk to each other. Laterals, B17, right? The apricot seed, is that the one? Or is it ivermectin? Or is it the H. pylori vaccine? Or is it really, just eating better or not getting around electrical lines? Or is it, but if we don't have those guys all in the same room, we're all not going to, that's bad English, right? We're never going to get to a point of success.
Yeah.
Unless I'm willing
to believe that it's... Are you one of those? Well, I am. When I say one of those, it makes it sound like derogatory.
Oh, shit. What do you mean one of those?
But do you think there are cures out there that's being suppressed for profit?
Absolutely.
Okay, man, me too. That's like a no-brainer in my opinion.
I just had Rick Hill on my show yesterday. Back in 1974, he went to Tijuana or south of there, had B17 laterals directly IV'd into his body, cured his lymphatic cancer he had all throughout his entire body. He's 72 years old. He was on my show yesterday. So the point of it is there are ways to do it, but if we don't have the apricot seed guys or the ivermectin guys all in the same room, how will we ever get better at this? We're not compounding knowledge. We're gatekeeping. And the government's gatekeeping, the societies are gatekeeping, religions. Listen, all the way religions are gatekeeping, and they got to stop. I mean, just because
they're stopping a cure for cancer. What do you mean by the religions are gatekeeping?
About the real power of who and what we really are. I think they've dumbed us down to make us believe that we're some kind of belly draggers all the time, and we shouldn't be amplified and the ability to actually see and understand each other more than we do. We think, oh no, we're just simple little beings. We're just, it's like, no, we're better than this. And I think religion has kept us in a way down, so we're not as best as we could be. I think
historically it was used for that purpose for sure. Yes, and you're right. I agree with that statement.
I don't know. It's a crazy thing that it's like. So what happened to me? I ran for office, and that's why I started this show. I ran for office in 2016. I lost my security clearances. I lost my social groups. I lost my investments. I mean, overnight, it was gone, right? So I learned in that moment, right? That moment that everything was completely, all the stuff that we're racing towards, all the things that we were doing, the gatekeeping that I saw in the politics of Kansas, and the people that I saw that were making decisions and pulling strings, and I saw the money people, and they're all in these little buckets, so no one is ever complicit, right? No one ever knows. No one ever fully knows. When I saw that happen, and I lost my security clearances, but then here's what I did. I not only learned from what they were doing and learned how they play their game, which is really very childish in a lot of ways. They'll just kill you. It's easier to kill you than deal with you, so that's how childish they are. They're just going to kill you, or they will make sure you can't make money, or you can't be popular, or you can't do this or that. And in that moment, I saw that I had to work within myself to realize who I needed to be better. I needed to be a better Jim Price. I need to be honest with myself, work on my ego, get there. But then when I realized that even within my religion, within my social groups, within my investments, within my friends, within my security clearance, with all my government contracts, everything was so gatekeeping. Oh, well, you're over there. Oh, we're over here. You're that. You're this. Oh, well, this or that. Well, here, Jim, no, this happens, that happens. And by the way, it is not a fallacy to say it's the right and left wing of the same bird, because I saw it. And the sad, ugly part of it is the people that are being endorsed in Kansas right now for governor and all these other things. These are the worst of the people out there. And I trust about 5 politicians in all of the state of Kansas. I trust more politicians in Washington, D.C. than I do in my own state of Kansas. But what I'm pointing out to you is, in the moment that we know that it's that bad, and we have to get out there and we have to push and be better and be the right people, right? But also we got to figure out how to be the right people inside of here. And until I've got my ego and my honesty right inside of me and I'm authentic, I've got no business coming out here to try to fix any of that. So it's not an idea that I got to go on a sabbatical for 29 years and figure it out and smell flowers and all that. But I actually just start being honest with me, and I become authentic. Then I go out to my government and say, you're not authentic. You're a coward. You're a gatekeeper. You're not doing it right. And it's so sad in our lives and our relationships and our families. We gatekeep. We gatekeep our emotions with each other. We gatekeep information. We gatekeep things we shouldn't. And our religions do it because, well, it's easier to keep you in fear than show you the freedom. And that is absolutely what governments fear, and that's what religions fear, that's what medical fears, that's what money fears. If you find out you don't need money to live, well, the money man's going to be mad. If you can live without the medicine man's going to be mad. If you can live without the religion man's going to be mad. If you can live without the government, the government man's going to be mad. And do you see how all that keeps you, that keeps you in the fear? Because I don't want to be without my government, my religion, or this or that, and I got to have these little safety things. But in reality, if they were just honest about how we can heal our own bodies and what our body can be, and what money really is, and what the value of our spiritual life really is, they could be really honest, we wouldn't need all the institutions, and we could actually live free and actually in more harmony than what we do now. And it's only because they gatekeep us and keep us in fear that we're always thinking the other person's the enemy.
You think it's just the money?
Fear.
Fear.
Fear is their currency with us, and that is why they live in the way they do, because they delve out fear. They know fear's coming back. They all live in fear. When you no longer live in fear, they have nothing to control you with. Yeah. And I've been there. When I lost everything, the car collections, the whole thing, the social groups, all the money gone, poof.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
I ran for office. They no-knock raided my house twice. My friend no-knock raided my house twice. I had a battering ram and a laser dot to my forehead. I mean, I right here.
What were they claiming? Why were?
I'm a drug dealer.
Jesus Christ!
My hair was never as long as yours on top, and they called me a drug dealer.
While you were a candidate for office.
While I had a above top secret security clearance with the Department of Defense for over 18 years, doing high security command centers and doing things for the government that nobody else was doing because I was only that guy. That's the guy they called a drug dealer. They said I was dealing pot to kids while making zeros that most people never see. I made a lot of money back then, and I lost it all.
But why were they? If I'm invading, I don't mean to pry.
No. I talk about it all the time.
It wasn't because of drugs. Why were they angry?
Because I was running for office. I ran for state senate.
But that's not bad. Like, what were they afraid you were going to change the rule that was going to like take away their funding or some bullshit? Like what?
I am not one to be bought. I'm not one to be. I don't. Once I set my mind to it, I'm not going to change. Mm-hmm. I believe that liberty and freedom is it. It's liberty of the mind to think of anything it wants and the freedom of the body to do what it will. I do believe that our republic is ran by a servant leadership, not a leadership.
Yeah.
And so the idea to me was when I went out there and said, hey, no property tax, no sales tax on food, no sales tax on the basic like electricity and gas and all these other things you pay. You don't realize you pay tax on your utilities. Why? It's publicly regulated. They get government money from us. Why are we paying taxes on top of what we're already paying taxes into? And so that's the kind of stuff I would do at the rallies and the conversations and the questionnaires and the interviews, and they didn't like that. And then Lynn Rogers, the guy I ran against, he was state senator and so he went from, listen to this. This is how crazy it was. And I'm going over time for my regular show, but we're fine. We'll keep going. Who cares? They'll just edit this part and they'll stick it in. Lynn Rogers comes from Western Kansas, First election he walks up to, this guy's like 60-some years old, older guy, great hair, the whole thing. Walks into one of the most prized positions in Sedgwick County, Kansas, comes in, school board, first election, never ran for office an entire life, walks in, Democrat. He was a state banker shutting down family farms in western Kansas for his entire life. Rolls into Wichita, school board, first election, second election, runs against me. I'm ahead by 32% at close of poll. By the end of the night, I lost by 7%. He then, the next election is lieutenant governor. And then he steps down from lieutenant governor to treasurer, where they find that $1.5 billion was lost out of the unemployment account by Nigerian scammers. So the problem was I was in the way of Lynn Rogers, their sweetheart, but also I'm a man who will not bend. If you offer me the money, I'm not going to take it. I don't think the money's worth it. I think my soul is worth more. And if you want to kill me, then that makes you a killer. But I don't have to worry about my ethics and who I am if I stand here and say, I will not be bought out. I won't. Sorry. Thank you
Jim,
very much.
Dude, what you're saying is absolutely wonderful. I wish there were more people like you, but I have, I don't know, this is going to sound.
Go for it.
Why do you support Trump if you believe that stuff? Because he has violated all the principles that I think you just expounded on.
Because he's the closest thing to it. He's not near it. I think he's a Democrat at best. I think that the Bushes were Democrats at best. I don't think we've had a true conservative for probably 80 years. Going clear back before World War I almost. I would say that we really have had a fallacy of government since the Federal Reserve was instituted. And that's when the bankers took over and we really lost control. But the problem is that the closest thing I can get to anything that's in a direction of a republic or even get to turn the dial in that direction is Trump. And it sucks. Because I want him to be better. I want more Massies, okay? I want more of the guys out there willing to stand there and say, no, you guys are a bunch of dumbasses, and stop. Absolutely stop writing a $1.1 trillion in checks to fraud every year. Just stop it. But we can't have that conversation because here's the problem. They will kill you. And if they won't kill you, they'll kill what you love. And if you love anything at all, which most people do, and they'll go after that, and they know how to do it.
Yeah.
They've used my kids with me several times in my life, and including in this last one. See, the other ones were court. The other ones were like family stuff and other things, and I saw the leverage that children create. But there was one step when in the very moment when I was sitting in the driveway out here for 6 hours, and they came up and they threatened one of my kids. And so the problem is that I will take it no matter what. No matter what. Period. I will stand in the gap. I don't care. This world is worth saving, and people are worth saving.
Yeah.
But we don't believe that, honestly, do we? Because our actions don't represent it. We don't spend our money that way. We don't spend our energy and time, and your energy and time and your focus is honestly why things succeed or fail. There's a lot of companies that did Dippin' Dots. There's a lot of companies that did Dippin' Dots, but Dippin' Dots is the only one that stuck. Sometimes it's a quinky-dink thing, but sometimes or most of the time it's just the amount of effort or energy or focus you put into it. You may know nothing about Dippin' Dots, but because you love it so much and it's everything you do and everything you talk about, it's going to be successful. But yet we don't think of our politics or our life or our success or our religion, our relationships in the same way because we don't bother to put effort or energy or focus into the individual to say, this is the individual that makes my life better, and these things that they do is what amplifies me, and I can't wait to have more of that in my life. And I want to make space for more people like that.
No, I agree. Most people's zone of influence or responsibility is themselves and then to their family. It doesn't go a lot farther than that, unfortunately, for most people. That's as far as they want to control or take responsibility for and make sure it's better. I don't see much people spread it much farther.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now think about that with everything we do in life. Think about the things you put effort into. You know some of the things, if you just put a little juice into it, a little shoulder, you'll see the difference, right? But you would hope that maybe some of your employees, some of your family, some of your friends would pick up that weight. But how many times in life is it really the true leadership who motivates and finds the specialness in people that makes the machine work? because I think everybody on this earth thinks they're amazing leaders. And as a man who's led thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of men, signed contracts worth billions of dollars, I will tell you the only thing that I was ever really good at is making people the best that they could be in the position they were in. And that's all I was doing. Yeah, I knew construction. Yeah, I knew some amazing stuff and do amazing things. But to get this orchestration of everybody to move forward in the right direction and to get out with no work loss, injuries, to get out of it on time and when profitable for everybody, that means that you have to be able to see the specialness in each of us. But we don't pay attention to each other enough to even know that the lady in the drive-thru you see every day spending $12 on Starbucks, you don't even notice that her hair changed or her eye color changed, or maybe she's thinner or heavier, or maybe she got some sun or didn't get sun. Do we bother to put effort into each other in the way that is actually valuable, the way we want to be treated?
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it out here, how do you expect it in return?
Yeah. There's a lot of unhappiness. I think it's harder to look for the greater good when you yourself are unhappy.
Right.
Like if you're broke, you're not worried about the other guy having enough to eat. So I see a lot of people just consumed by their own problems, and they can't get their attention units out enough to like try to create a better world, unfortunately. But you're right. We need more people, more of what you're talking about for sure.
Yeah. Well, and that's a crazy part of it is just the idea of that it's relationships. When you've got a partnership or you've have, different people, those things, if you don't work on those relationships, they fall apart, but so will that business or that, whatever is tied to that. It's
Sure.
attention. It's the double slit experiment, right? When you pay attention, everything becomes ordered. When you're not paying attention to your government, when you're not paying attention to your finances, when you're not paying attention to your Federal Reserve, there's no order. So why
But a
are
lot of
you
people just don't want to know, though, Jim. Like I will talk to people close to me and explain pretty basic concepts that are everywhere in the news, and it is just unbelievable to them. Like if to think that, I don't know, the CIA had something to do with JFK. There's a lot of evidence that happened. But
Absolutely.
a lot of people will know. They're like, Matt, why would you ever think a government would do that to somebody? It's like, shit, there's. Are you crazy? Of course they did.
Pearl Harbor, World War I.
They don't want to hear it.
World War II, 9/11. I mean, golly, guys, what
It's
about
easier just to be ignorant, to live in the matrix, or however you want to say it. It's just, yeah. Sometimes for a lot of people.
Hey, the red or the blue pill, right?
That's right.
And we all metaphor that to death, right? But the idea is that if you want to know, the truth is there.
Yeah.
And once you find it, and here's the thing. Okay. Hey, man, Matt, I know where $1 billion of yours is at, but it's just going to take effort to tell you. So you know what? I don't want to write it down. It's like 12 words, and I don't want to put forth the effort.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing to each other. I think and metaphorically in that, right? There are things that we could do to make each other's lives better, to get more information, to become better. But we know that right now, our entire society is losing 10 IQ points almost every decade since 2020 or 2010, that we're having an IQ problem, which tells me that people aren't learning. Because if you're not continuously pushing your brain and trying to learn new things and expand, you are going to lower your ability to problem solve. And that's what IQ really is problem solving, getting through life. Yeah. And if you're not learning stuff, if you're not learning about, hey, like we said, Federal Reserve, knowing what that is. I went in a deep dive about 10, 11 years ago about the Federal Reserve. And as a federal contractor, I'm sitting around going, okay, all this is fake. All this is not real. I'm spending my life and energy and I started, and it really got to me for a while. And then that's when shortly after that, I started thinking about getting into politics. And it was about a year later that someone came up to me and said, hey man, we'd love for you to run for state senate. We think you'd be great. It'd be awesome having you and blah, blah, blah. Went up, met the governor, the whole deal, right? But somewhere along the line, someone figured out that I wasn't a guy to be bought out. And then there went everything. And that's a sad part. If you really think about the people who get along in politics for a long, long time, it's not because they're good people.
No.
That's it.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, good for you, man.
Hey.
Thank you for being one of the ones on the front lines that are doing the fighting, because
I don't know.
God bless you. We need it.
I'm trying. Well,
Yeah,
again, we're not putting it out there, right? If we're just
that's
keeping
right.
our little bowling ball of a head here, it's not getting anything done. So we have to have that attention to it.
That's right.
So, all right, sir. Well, I guess I'll get you out of here. It was good having you. Hey, let's find something to chop it up about again, and we'll figure out the meaning of life, right?
Absolutely. That sounds good. Well, Jim, thanks again, my friend. It's been a pleasure being with you.
You bet, sir. We'll talk to you
Yeah.
soon. All
See
right.
you. Okay. Bye.
All right. What a great interview that was with Matt. Guys, thank you guys for hanging on there after the show. I did go a little long today, about 10 minutes or so. They will have to cut that out later on tonight and the stations. But anyway, that's why I try to keep the show down so that there's no editing for them and everything is actually all in context. If someone wants to listen to the show on air. Yes, we are live now in Florida, and we got live there this week, and things are being worked out. There's still a little bit of a technical thing. They actually went down. What happened was day one, boom, we're ready to go. It's a radio station, and they got down there and found out it wasn't. There was a lot of misrepresented equipment, so they went ahead and made a capital investment into new equipment there, and so it should be 100% running this Monday. But this whole week they've been kind of tinkering with it a little bit. But yes, we are live in Florida now. Anyway, guys, it's been great seeing everybody out there. Thank you guys so much for everything you guys are doing out there. Remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more they do for you, the more you do for them, the less they have to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. The world will be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast. Do not give up. Do not give in. We'll win. I promise. I don't promise I can't keep. My mouth ain't working. Remember, the Constitution limits the government, but never limits you. See, we got to know that authority. We have to understand that we can't give this stuff away to people because that's why we are in the situation we are. We can unwind a lot of things, but it causes us to have to put effort into life. We'll figure that out soon, I hope. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys all be good.